We're gonna go look for my friend Jerry and Lisa. They're walking in over here. One of my goals for these events is to bring together a community, but specifically diverse community. So even older people and younger people can show up. I was born into tea. Tea, when you trace it all the way back, finds its roots as a plant in China, in the heart of China, in a province called Yunnan. And Yunnan it's a beautiful land where the earth is red and where the soil is full of minerals and nutrients. And tea grows there, and the trees are hundreds of years old. And tea was discovered by accident, but just by accident. It was discovered when a man named Shenong was boiling water by a river, and a leaf fell down into his cauldron. And he tastes the water. He's like, I like that. And continued for 10,000 years. It was a medicine, and it permeated throughout Chinese culture. It became a really important part in Chinese culture, and it started to just touch the world through trade, through the Silk Road. It was coveted by all the foreigners and travelers who came into China. Really found tea so special, and they wanted to share it with their communities, and so it expanded around the world like coffee. And so my dad was a native of Yunnan, China. That was his home. That was where he was born, where tea is that is like the birthplace of tea, so tea was in his blood. And so its heritage, it comes down from being raised with tea all around me, always. So the instruments that I share tea with are traditional. And when I speak about the instruments, I mean the justice cup, the teapot, this is traditional, and the table, which captures the water, and the little cup, specifically the small cups. That's really a differentiator here. These are all classical and traditional instruments, tea instruments, or tools. And so that has remained the same always, and refines and continues to get refined with time. The guy who does the pottery on these continues to improve. So this will always be evolving and getting better. But the way that each tea master chooses to share their tea is different. And for me, the way I do it is very special just to me, how I choose to do it. My values have always been to connect people and spark curiosity in people's hearts. Curiosity, creativity, connection, and community. I think those are so valuable. So I felt very inspired by my father. The way he shared tea was more about healing and meditation and like stoicism, very clear, like a monk or a priest or someone of like a reverend, like Martin Luther King or Gandhi, like can really speak wise words that can help someone really heal. For me, I feel like I'm more of an artist and a playful, curious, and I'm a creator, I'm an artist. So the way that I share tea is less like teacher student. It's less monkish. Like the best way I could describe it's less religious. And so I felt so inspired by open mic and the fact that everyone can have their voice heard in open mic. And I felt so inspired by hiking, trailing and hiking and being out in nature. and I feel inspired by tea, so I just took these three and combined them, and so it's open mic tea hike, and that's how that came together. The first event was I just wanted to have a tea ceremony. No, I just wanted to go on a hike, but I brought my tea set along, and we had tea before we went on the hike, and I thought, it'd be interesting, instead of just all sitting here, and we don't really have anything to focus on, like why don't we do an open mic just off the top? And we did it, and it was great, and it worked out perfectly. And I've done lots of tea ceremonies the way my dad would do it, where it's just him in the center, and he's like talking and teaching like really beautiful stuff, but everyone's listening to him, and he has to perform and like show up. And I did that for many years after he passed away, like 4 years, where I was just like giving my soul. It's a lot to like sit, pour tea, and like be here like a therapist for everyone, drinking the tea with you. It's like a ceremony, and it just felt like too much for me. I didn't want to hold that space anymore. So I think the open mic, by allowing everyone to like share and do a performance, then we share that space. So it doesn't have to just be one person holding it. I think everyone can be a teacher and a mentor, no matter how old or young you are. A young person can teach an old person as much as an old person can teach a young person. And I think open mic allows for that. And I like my groups to be intergenerational and like diverse, having different age groups come to my spaces, because since I have that structure of an open mic, then it allows for a young person to speak their mind fully and an older person to really listen.
Second, who wants to go first?
The deepest like feeling that drives me, like what gets me out of bed to get this together, and why I think I'm called, like this is my calling, like I'm here to create communities, like really true communities. And the deepest reasoning for that is service, and what that means. True service, true service. I heard an artist say that when they create their art, I forget who this artist was, but I resonate with what they said. They said that they create their music for God, for like, that is a gift to God. And so since it's a gift to God and it's for God, then budget doesn't matter, and ego doesn't matter, and exchange, and like trying to have an agenda and get something out of it no longer matters, because one is creating for God, one is creating for the divine. And I'm in service to God, but like by God I mean everything, like the little creatures, nature, and the me that I see in people, the art. I'm in service to love. And it's a lot. It's just really a powerful feeling to just listen to my heart and really create for that pure reason, and always come back to that place of love, like to create love, to create more love in the world. That's really my mission. It sounds cheesy, but like that's what I want to always do in my work. Yeah. I'm not perfect, and I will stray sometimes, but I always come back to that. That's my North Star.
You have this community or this strong connection with people, and then...
Yeah. Like compassion, and like I realized one day after my dad passed away, I realized at some point in my life, I think it might have even been before he passed away, but I realized about my parents and the world around me is that like we're all in the same boat, and then also that no one's gonna like save us, I guess. Like if something just is feeling off in the world, I have to do something, and it's a sense of urgency that I just have to do something to change the world. I really believe I can change the world, even if it's just like me and 6 other people having tea together. But if I bring that group together with purity and sincerity, then it does change the world. Like whenever I do something, I believe I can change the world with however small it is. Because the smallest things can change the world. One person, 2 people, just a choice. It all comes down to the choices we make each day. Like the people's choice. Doesn't have to be a big corporation or a big famous person. It's just each person. It's individual who makes a choice that changes the world.